time. Oh, Stephen A., you were sitting over here talking about Lonzo Ball couldn't get out of a chair on national television. Your sources has told you he can't even get out of a chair. Mm, mm, mm. Lonzo, show him get out of it. Show him how you can get out of a chair, Lonzo.
Stephen A., who are your sources, bro? Please tell me who your sources are. Come on, man. Come on, man. You gotta stop yapping. And I actually like you, man. I don't even know you like that, but I like you. I'm coming back, man. Come on.
What I tell you, people get tired of the lies. Look at, he said that he can't even get in. I heard he can't even get to a sitting position. I have my sources. Lonzo said, come to the real source this time. Then he says, happy to do so, Lonzo. Nice to know you finally liked me to reach out. Not a problem. You know how to reach me too. I'm here. You the one speaking on him, not him talking about you. You did the same thing to Diggs, saying that Diggs wanted out from the Bills. He wants out. I have my sources. Diggs like 100% not true. I don't know who the source is, but I thought I nipped this in the bud. But we know who your sources is. Kornheiser and Mike Wilburn. They told you that crap about Lonzo Ball. Nobody else. Nobody else mentioned that. Why is that? That's right. So you should be checking your sources and saying, who told you that? Who told you that? He see you and he see another him. You a young version of me. You get the game. Keep your nose clean and do what Whitey tell you. And you gonna be all right. Wilburn's there to find and mold other hymns. And you were it. Buddy boy. Now, you are a journalist, or used to be, right? For the sports world of basketball. You keep talking about all of the sources and contacts you got. You know? Couldn't you have called the president of the Chicago Bulls, the chairman, Jerry Reinsdorf, or Michael? You ain't call his son Mike? You know Mike is the CEO. Or maybe you could have called Mark, the GM. Arturus. You ain't called them? Now, of course, you could have talked to Susan or Mark Levitt. Now, you know Mark Levitt already, so you know what he is about. He handles all the business when it comes to the Chicago Bulls, and nothing gets past Mark Levitt. And you know him. How could I know this and you don't? You didn't talk to anyone in front office. And you have all these connections. What about people that's not in the front office? What about John Paxson, who's still an advisor there? Did you talk to Chris Fleming or John Bryant? They got Mo Cheeks on the team. You know Mo Cheeks was in Philly. You know Mo Cheeks, right? Did Mo Cheeks tell you he couldn't get out of his seat? What about Billy Smith? Did you call Billy Donovan? I'm quite sure they know who Stephen A. Smith is and would answer the phone. Did you not know Chip Schaefer still works for the Chicago Bulls. Why don't you contact him? What about you? What's his name? Todd Campbell, the athletic trainer, or Matthew Comer, or Michael Orr, the physical therapist, the conditioning coach, Matt and Jeff, right? Hell, did you talk to Arnold Lee? Who did you talk to on this team, bruh? You are Stephen A. Smith. At one point, you was the highest paid man in sports television. And the highest paid man in sports television can't get his information right. That makes you look ineffective. So who is feeding you this false information that makes you look like a fool? Even the statement you gave trying to say, oh, now, okay, I'm good to know that I can reach out. Hell, all you got to do is reach out to Lonzo Ball and ask him. If he doesn't want to answer you, fine. But you could at least saying, I got my sources. Well, okay, who are these sources? Saying you got sources and your sources proving to be wrong makes you look dumb. Now you look just like the guy on the couch. You look like me, Stephen A. So what's the difference? You see how that comes back to bite you? I want to say shouts out to Kwame Brown Bust Life. Kwame Brown Bust Life 2.0. And want to give a shout out to Seahawks Jose Rodriguez's channel. I think it's called Jag Sports now with Seahawks with Jose Rodriguez. Shouts out to Welcome to HD with the Two Eyes TV, Ticket TV, Armando Black TV, the whole nine. There's a lot of people that don't understand and didn't know what was going on during these times when the game was going on and it was really hot. So a lot of people out there just didn't get it. I got it though. True to self, true to everything I believe, true to everything that I know, true to everything that's been told to me. Contrary to what people believe, he's not the only one to do this. There's a lot of these sports analysts that's out here continuing this facade. And just because they're on television don't mean that they are the end all be all of all knowledge. Believe me, there's people that know what's going on that's right next to the source that don't even have a damn job. So shouts out to Lonzo Ball, shouts out to Diggs for calling Stephen A out for being what he is. Now, as these people are being exposed as liars, we just told you earlier today in the live stream, Stephen A. Smith was supposed to be the host of Sports Center at 6 p.m. Jamel Hill and Michael Smith was the plan B option. They were on His and Hers on ESPN2, and they were doing well. They were having fun with their show, and they loved it. And they took a chance on them because they had to. Because Stephen A was supposed to host that spot. That's a major spot. And this had nothing to do with anything that they have been teaching or telling you about. The main problem was clear. And what was the main problem, you might say? The main problem was simple. People like Stephen A, they don't know how to process information in failure. They don't know how to process it well. They don't know what's going on in their life. They don't know how to process what's going down. They can't. If something doesn't go the way they expect, they cop out. Stephen A. Smith, ladies and gentlemen, messed up his whole situation by going hard at Ayesha Curry because Ayesha Curry spoke out at this about the NBA being fixed at the game 6 of the NBA Finals against when Steph Curry got thrown out of the game with like 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. He threw his mouthpiece across the court, got in the referee's face, and for the first time, the world saw Steph Curry lose it. The two-time MVP, unanimous MVP, lose it on the court. She reacted immediately on social media saying, "We know what this is." And Stephen A jumped down her throat. Then said she should learn from oh, Ayesha, you need to learn from, look at Savannah and use Savannah James as an example. And Ayesha was, how dare you, you know, pit two women against each other. So he goes on national TV on ESPN show and starts basically saying, I don't care, and how dare you, and you should learn from Ayesha Curry. Ayesha Curry, you should learn from Savannah James. Savannah James show you how to be in that situation. You should do that. And he didn't care how she felt. Nobody cares what you think. And it was almost like you're a woman, stay in your place. The men didn't complain, but there's women at ESPN, and every last one of them had a complaint against what Stephen A. Smith said on that station. There's women that work around them, work on that set, work on that show, in the office in Bristol. They were pissed. Now, because of that, John Skipper, the president of ESPN at the time, said, you're not going to host the 6 p.m. ESPN. They're not giving that to you. No. After what you've done, no. That's gone. That's up in smoke. No woman is going to have that platform. No woman working here. And it went way past just the office, the front office. And they were mad because you didn't have a woman on there to give a opposite opinion from a woman's perspective. And he blamed Skip Bayless. Oh, Skip Bayless. He was the one. He didn't want Molly to do nothing but moderate. I want her to talk more, but Skip, he only wants Molly to sit there and look pretty. Her job is just to move the conversations along and moderate, not jump in and give a debate. That's her job. So she didn't really give too much of a pushback or anything on the conversation because that's the way Skip wanted it. So he blamed Skip and it's like, that's Skip's choice. We had a woman up there. Skip, you know Skip don't want to do this, and Skip. Threw Skip under the bus. So she said, well, you're mansplaining. Some word they created that fits the agenda of what these women are doing and put it in a class of what it is when you explain something and don't have a woman around. You're just like, you're a man, Skip is a man, and you two are discussing two women, a situation with two women, and you don't have another woman's opinion on it. You're mansplaining. This is what she told him. This is high brass tacks at ESPN. And this is why he wasn't getting the job on ESPN. And Jamel Hill and Michael Smith got it because he was mansplaining. And you know what he did? Stephen A. Smith, you know what you did, right? You agreed with her. Oh, she was right. I was mansplaining. I'd be like, what the is you talking about? What are you talking about? Mansplaining? Women get together and talk about men all the time. And men ain't around. That's all they do. They discussing an incident that happened between two men and they got all up in it. What they womansplaining? Like who makes this crap up? But see, that's too real. And he had to toe the line because he had a job. So now that we are on the right track and we are doing the things that we're doing, um, now you guys get to see what it was. So he congratulated him. Oh, I'm happy for Michael Smith and Jamel Hill. So when they were losing their job on ESPN and going through the drama they was going through, Stephen A. Smith didn't care. He didn't help. He didn't say, let me see what I could do. He wanted the spot in the first place. He was saying, see, this is why I should have had the job. Now, these two were unexpected about the changes that happened. And when they got more right wing people in there who hated some of the left side agenda stuff that was going on the show, all of a sudden, now that Trump's out, all of a sudden they're gone. And now it's okay to talk politics. It's a very confusing line. But Stephen A. Smith has been getting away with this for the longest time, telling false information, talking about he got sources. And he just rolls with what's said and try to make it reality. It's very aggravating, you know. to say the least. Yeah, well, it is, man. Seeing what he did to Kwame, seeing what he did to Kyrie Irving, seeing what he did to a lot of other entertainers, athletes, whoever, and it's always seemed to be a situation where they're not towing the line of ownership or the coaches, and he's the one to tell them, boys, stay in line. That seemed to be his narrative at all times. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Shouts out to everybody who support the channel, Carcino for Life and Lonzo Ball. Man, when you come out, man, you don't gotta talk to that punk. Go ahead and do an interview and sit down with the real people, man. Go interview with some of those people on the internet that's been riding with you while you've been down. I ain't saying me. I'm saying those who've been out there checking for you and saying you gonna be back. Go interview with them. Give them dudes some love because they're the ones been out there holding you down and trying to stay with you through this. Stephen A just want to just use you as you washed up, and he's like, let's move on to the next one. That's how they do you. Chew you up and spit you out like gum. So you don't need them anyway. Screw them. Show them you're different. That's how you win. Anyway, I'm out. Don't forget, subscribe to the page, go to the Patreon, all that thing, all the man, it's in the banner, man. I'm out. Ain't gotta explain no more.